Let's go to Rob Cornilles, Republican candidate for Oregon's 1st District on this official election day. Rob, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much, Bob.
I'll ask you basically the same questions I asked your opponent. How are you feeling? I mean, this was a pretty squeezed-in campaign, and it has to be rigorous.
Oh, sure it is, but it's been a very, I'd say, positive experience for our campaign. We've been able to, I think, clearly separate ourselves from our opponent as far as what each of us would bring to our state and to Washington, D.C. I feel very good that the voters know about my background of being a job creator, and if we all agree that jobs is the number one priority of the state, not to mention the country, and I would be the one that going back to Washington with the experience of knowing what it takes to create a job, and frankly, knowing what it takes to constrain a job or to prevent people from hiring, and also being a member of the majority party in the House will allow me, I think, to have a much greater impact on a positive side for our state, for Northwest Oregon, and frankly, be a champion for a district that's been neglected and ignored for far too long, in my opinion.
What has surprised you the most since this whole thing started for you? What surprised you?
I think, frankly, the way that the other side has spent millions of dollars to try to attack and demonize a small business owner from Tualatin. It's on the one hand kind of humorous. On the other hand, it's not funny if voters are misled and if they're deceived as to my background, my record, what I say, what I don't say, and then voters make an uneducated or uninformed decision as a result of misinformation. It's difficult to compete with the machine that's coming out of Washington, D.C. I've obviously shown my independence throughout this campaign, not asking for outside help. And I think that when I go back to Congress, I'm the one who will not have favors to repay, which allows me to do more for the state and allows me to be an honest broker and really find solutions that will benefit this state, not just a party.
Well, in retrospect, do you wish that you had taken some of that money?
No, because I have greater confidence in the voters here. I don't think the voters are going to be fooled again. They fooled us once. I don't think it will happen again. As a native Oregonian, Bob, I've always had great confidence in my neighbors. This is one reason I wanted to run for Congress, because I felt that this fantastic pool of people located in Northwest Oregon had not been represented properly for far too long. And, in fact, they were kind of the neglected district. And I thought, someone's got to go be their voice, because we have so much to offer here, so much innovation, so many natural resources that I think the world would envy if they just knew more about the great things that we do. So again, I have total confidence that voters will look through, kind of the charade that has been played and look at the record of these two candidates, look at their skill sets, look at their temperament, and then decide who will really best move the needle for us in moving this economy and being a strong voice for job creation.
In a small sense, though, Rob, when your opponent comes up with a big wad of money or something like that, in some sense, are you a little bit flattered by that? I mean, they certainly weren't ignoring you.
No, it is a backhanded compliment. Certainly. I never thought that a small business owner from Tualatin would put so much fear in the national party. Even, quite frankly, even President Obama's campaign committee has gone on the attack against me, and about a dozen other organizations based in D.C. So it is interesting. It's somewhat flattering, but once again, it's not just me that they're going after. And I can take the hits, and I've got the alligator skin that you have to develop as a candidate. But I think what's more disconcerting, Bob, is that if they are successful, and I certainly hope they are not, and I don't think they will be, but if they are, what kind of message will that send to the rest of the country? That is, if you want to join the political arena as a small business owner, watch out, because there are people in Washington, D.C. that are going to try to make you the devil. And yet you're doing the very things that we need. You're creating jobs. You're hiring people. And yet we're demonizing them. We're discouraging them from being involved in the political process. The insiders want that to happen. I just refuse to let it happen, nor are my supporters going to let it happen. that's why I think we'll be victorious tonight.
Rob Cornilles, our guest this morning, and we'll wrap this up in just a second. But first, here's real-time traffic and Mark Dornfeld.
Yes, back to you.
Rob Cornilles, Republican candidate for Oregon's 1st District, and it's all over but the shouting, and I guess the shouting's tonight. Where are you going to be tonight, Rob?
We'll be at the Forestry Center.
Oh, okay. What are you serving? We're just asking.
Yeah, we want to know about the food.
What kind of food you got?
There might be some Triscuits and some napkins.
I'm there.
It doesn't take much.
No, but it doesn't cost much to feed our supporters because they know that we're spending our money on things that really matter. So, but do come by. We'd love to have you.
All right, Rob. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rob Cornilles, candidate for for Oregon's 1st District.